Everybody, how's it going? Here we are, in sunny Surfers Paradise, Tower 34 Cafe, looking out over the ocean. Day after the ITU Standard Distance Triathlon World Championships, age group World Champs. Andy Walsh here, foot traffic athlete. Raced that, had a great race, and he's kind enough to come in the video with me and talk about how his race went. And we're going to work through his power and for his bike and his run, and just talk about how that unfolded for him. Had a good race. How did it go?
I was very happy.
Yep.
PBs all ran pretty much, and great day out there.
Awesome. So obviously you're from an Ironman background, really, endurance racing background, so it's a little bit different for you.
It's been quite a change in just the training and being very, very uncomfortable for a short amount of time.
Yeah.
Different pieces.
Absolutely. So tell us about the swim. Well, it obviously starts with the swim. So let's talk about the warm-up. How was that? How did that go? How did the swim go? And how did you feel that set you up for the day?
Yeah, the swim went reasonably well, all things considered. We rocked up to the start expecting to be able to hop in the water and go for a swim, but they told us that there was going to be no warm-up anymore. So we were able to hop in the water a couple of minutes before the start and just do some very quick turnovers. Not really a lot of time for full warm-up, but just got in as much as I could get done, and then set off for the swim.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And was it a rough swim, or was there a lot of action going on?
Yeah, the first sort of 200 meters to the first buoy was pretty rough, but then everything kind of thinned out. I ended up being in a pack of about four guys for the rest of the swim, and we just sort of found a few feet and kept swimming. And,
okay, cool. So it took you 23 minutes and 38 seconds according to your watch, and the official race results 23:35. So pretty good on the stopwatch, aren't you?
Yeah.
So,
I'm pretty happy with that time. I'm sure it's pretty close to a PB for me.
Yeah. Excellent. And obviously, having come out of winter, we've haven't been able to get into the wetsuit much. So to get in the open water and have a good swim like that, it's great. It's awesome.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the cycle. Obviously, 40k ride. You had a smoking fast time. You went 58:22 on the official results, and in the on your Garmin it was 58:12, so it was pretty close to that. How did the ride go for you?
I had a very good transition coming out onto the bike. Had my shoes all set up on the bike already with bands, which we practiced the week before, and came out to the mountain line. There was about 3 or 4 guys there kind of messing around, trying to clip on, and I was able to just kind of run past them like we talked about and do the hop onto the bike and probably save myself 10, 20 seconds right there.
A lot of stress as well.
Yeah, just got going, and all the Kiwi fans quite like that.
Yeah.
We were standing there.
Awesome.
And then it was just about kind of settling in. The start of the bike, there's quite a few kind of hairpin turns right off the bat. So it's just about trying not to get carried away, accelerating out of those corners. Just stay in the aero bars and settle into it.
Okay, good. So I haven't had a chance to look at your power data at all, really. So we're going into this completely unknown, so I haven't actually had a chance to look at this at all. So it's going to be quite interesting to see what I find and how that relates to what you experience in the day. So first of all, the first thing that really jumps out at me is your power distribution chart. Obviously, there's a little bit where you're in at 0 watts. That's when you're freewheeling or cornering and stuff like that, which is absolutely fine. 5% of the ride was under 15 watts, so that's pretty light, pretty easy. It's a really, really tight, narrow distribution range, which is great. This is an individual time trial road, so you want to have this range here as narrow as you can, which you've done really well with. And you had the most amount of time between 255 and 270 watts. So what was the target power that you were going into this with?
We were aiming for about 90 to 95, I think, trying to get a bit closer to 95.
95% of the threshold?
Yeah. I think it was about 271, 272.
Okay. So it was a little bit lower of that. So was that a conscious effort, or did you find that you just couldn't get onto that target power?
I kind of struggled to settle into the ride. There was quite a bit of traffic from the earlier waves to pass quite a bit, and just kind of struggled to kind of have the focus just on power, so kind of kept kind of slipping off a little bit as I was focusing on other things.
Right. So obviously what we want to avoid is the amount of time spent over your threshold. So this sort of area here, you didn't actually do a lot of time over the threshold, which was great. And there were a few little bits where you're probably going uphill or coming out of a corner or surging to get around people. You mentioned to me before that there were a couple of bits where you had to surge to get ahead. You notice that was had a bit of impact. It's not really reflected in your power, so any surging that you did do, you controlled it really well, you managed it really well. The thing that I really like the look of is this peak power curve. So your peak was just over 450, 468 watts, peak 5 seconds, which is really, really well controlled, really, really well disciplined. This is almost a linear line, really. It's great to see. So obviously, if it was a drafting race or a road race, your peak power would be a lot higher in this part. But as an individual time trial, you never really went to that really super high power zone, which is great discipline. And it's really hard for people to hold themselves back from doing that when they know that there's someone ahead of them that they want to get up to. Eventually, you just catch them anyway. And you can sort of see from your peak 2 minutes out to your peak 30 minutes, there's not a lot of difference between there. So you had a really, really narrow range of receiving this distribution here. So it's really well controlled. That was awesome. If we come down and have a look at your heart rate, it was all just on threshold, which is perfect. That's where your heart rate should be for this distance. And the power zone distribution, most of it was between 260 and 302 watts. A little bit just under, as you said, you found it hard to get on top of that power. Looking at the graph, pretty smooth, pretty nice. It doesn't look too bad at all. And if we look at your variability index, 1.02, so 1.00 obviously is normalized power and average power, it's pretty much the same. So 2% variability, very, very low for a race like that. So that was great. We wanted you to ride at 0.95 intensity factor, and you were at 9.91, so a little bit low off that, but I don't think that's a bad thing. It's better to slightly underride than to override, especially in your case because you are mainly an endurance athlete. As soon as you go over that limit, it can become a bit of an issue. You'll see later on when we look at the run that I think this has probably helped a lot, and I think we'll find that your run performance was dictated by the slightly lower intensity ride, what it potentially could have been. So it was really good. Decoupling, 1.78%. We can allow up to 5% decoupling here. So as you went through the ride, your power and your heart rate stayed fairly consistent the whole way. 259 normalised power. Cadence 97. It's a pretty high cadence. It's pretty good.
Yeah, I quite like a high cadence. Even Ironman, I'm reasonably high.
Yeah, that was good. Safety leg for the run. And the magic number here, 40.1 kilometers per hour average.
I think it's the first time I've averaged over 40 for an Olympic.
Awesome. So it was warm, 32 degrees, but you coped well with your heart rate. Didn't creep up at all. Peak power, your peak 20 minutes was quite early in the bike, and obviously that's what we'd normally expect. And your first let's see, first 5 minutes or so. First 5 minutes, 247 watts. So it was actually a little bit under your target, so you really rode yourself into that ride. So it was a smart move, really smart move. And if we look at your last prominent section of the bike, last 7 minutes at 0.89, so you came home at the same pace you went out, or you went out at the same pace you came home, basically, which is really, really good, awesome. So all in all, I think that was a extremely well executed bike ride. So well done.
Yeah, learned a lot. I think this type of racing got quite a few different challenges. And
yeah, absolutely. So when we come back, we'll do another video, and we will talk about Andy's run performance, and we'll just have a look at his run power data and how that relates, and how that could have been influenced by the bike ride as well. Okay.